Hello student, welcome once again. Fiber to fabric. This is a part 2 of the lesson. In this video we are going to learn about a natural fiber that is silk. We already learned about the wool. Now we are going to learn about the silk, life cycle of the silk moths, processing of silk, use of silk, then plant fibers and synthetic fiber. The silk fiber is obtained from the cocoons of the silkworms or a silk moth. The silk moth lives on the leaves of the mulberry plants. There are different types of silk. Example: tassar silk, moga silk, kosa silk based on their luster and texture. And the rearing of the silkworms for obtaining silk is called a sericulture. Rearing of the silkworm is done all around the world for obtaining the silk, and that process is called a sericulture. Now here the picture of the silk moths, male and female. The male is comparatively smaller than the female. The history of the silk. Silk was discovered in China in 3500 BC. Originally it was used by the emperors only, but now it is found throughout the world. As per historians, the silk was produced in India also in earlier days. A proof of use of silk during the Indus Valley civilization was also been found. Now the life cycle of the silkworms. There are 4 stages in the life cycle of the silk moth. Eggs, then larva, then pupa and the adult. The female silk moth lay eggs. After about 14 days, eggs are hatched into larvae called the caterpillars and grown into the pupa and secretes fibers made of proteins, and it surrounds itself completely. This covering is called a cocoon. Live in the cocoon for the some time, and after coming out the cocoon, it grows into the silk moth. This is the life cycle of the silkworm. Here is a picture. It is shown the adult silk moth, that is a female silk moth that lay eggs. Hundreds of the eggs lay at a time, and see the eggs on the this plant leaf. Then the eggs matured and they hatch, and the larva is come out. That is called as the caterpillars. Then caterpillars grown into the cocoons. Silk they produce around themselves, and from the cocoons, the matured silk moth is hatched out. This is the life cycle of the silk moth. Now here is a mulberry tree. This tree they mostly eat, feed on this leaf. The processing of the silk. The process of obtaining silk from the silk moth involves 4 stages. 4 steps are involved. First one is the rearing of the silkworms, their reeling, then dyeing, and this is followed by the spinning and weaving. Okay, this is the process of the silk, how it is processed. The the female silk moth lay eggs, then eggs develop into the larva into the cocoon, and from the cocoon the silk fibers are obtained, and they then it is processed in the industries, and the silk is ready. The rearing of the silkworms. The female silk moth lay eggs. Eggs are stored over a clean cloth or a paper strip. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature. The eggs hatch into the larvae called the caterpillars or the silkworms. The silkworms are kept into the bamboo trays and feeds on the mulberry leaves and grows in the size. After 30 to 40 days, the silkworms stop eating and begins to spin cocoons. They spin cocoons around themselves, and from the cocoons get hardened because of the exposure to the air. It exposed to the air, and that's why it become hard. Inside the cocoon, the silkworm develop into the silk moth. Rearing of the silkworms. This is the steps. First is they lay eggs. The eggs develop into the larvae, and these eggs are kept into the bamboo basket. And in the bamboo basket, they feed, and the cocoons are formed. This is called as a rearing of the silkworms. Then the reeling of the silk. The cocoons are collected and kept in the sunlight or boiled or exposed to the steam. The silk fibers separate out. The process of taking out the silk thread from the cocoons is called reeling. The reeling is done by the machines, and the removal or separation of the silk is done by the machines. This is the process of reeling of the silk. See, first the cocoons they are boiled or kept under the steam, then the silk is obtained, silk fiber is obtained. Dyeing and spinning and weaving. The silk fibers are then dyed into different color. Originally silk is obtained as a white, then they put the color, different color in it. That is called as a dyeing. The spinning and weaving. The silk fibers are then spun into threads and woven into the different types of the silk cloth. That is fiber. The clothes which we wear, that is called as a spinning and weaving. Okay, this is the spinning and weaving of the silk. See how they weave under the machines. The silk fibers are dyed, and then the different type of clothes are made. Now, use of silk. Silk is a costly fabric. Silk fiber is used to weaving the clothes, especially traditional dress in India like sari, kurta, shawl, and other wedding clothes. Silk had always been prized for its luster and fine quality. Now, silk is a most expensive cloth in the market. The countries which produce silk on the large scale are China. They are the first ranker, and then India. Now we are moving towards the plant fiber. The common plant fibers are cotton and jute. Cotton is obtained from the flowers of the cotton plant, and jute is obtained from the stem of the jute plant. Okay, this we are going to learn now. Now these are the jute and cotton plants. Now cultivation of the cotton. Cotton is cultivated in a black clayey soil, and it needed a warm climate. The sowing of the cotton crop is done in the early spring, mostly during the monsoon season. In India, cotton are cultivated. The cotton plants are uh, about 1 to 2 meters tall, and during about 60 days it gets ready. Its flowers comes, then the flowers turns reddish in few days, and from the flowers when they mature, from that cotton is taken. At a maturity, the cotton balls burst down and white cotton fiber can be seen. Now see in the picture, these are the cotton cultivation. These are the matured cotton. They are removing. Now processing of cotton. The cotton picked up from the plants has seeds in it. You might have seen. Okay, many seeds are present inside a cotton. The process of removing cotton seeds from the pods is called a ginning. The removing of the cotton seeds is called a ginning. Ginning was traditionally done by the hand. Nowadays, machines are used to ginning. Now machines are used. No handwork. Now next one is the spinning. The process of making a yarn from the fiber is called a spinning. The raw cotton is supplied to the industry in the form of bales. Now steps to the making cotton yarn. Raw cotton is loosened and cleaned to remove the straw and dried leaves. Then it is cleaned, cotton is then fed into the machine. The cotton fiber are combed and straightened and converted into the rope-like structure called sleever. The sleever of the cotton fiber is converted into the yarn by spinning using machines. Now cotton in India. Cotton is cultivated mainly in the Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Madhya Pradesh. In these states the cotton is mostly cultivated. The use of cotton, as you know, cotton is mostly used of making the clothes of various kinds. Example, towels, bedsheet, curtains, saris, all these are made of the cotton, and cotton cloth is the healthiest one. Next is the jute. Jute is obtained from the jute plant, the stem of the jute plant. The jute fiber is obtained from the stem of the jute plant, and it is cultivated mostly in the rainy season. Jute fiber is pale yellow in color and 2 to 3 meters long. Jute fiber is very strong and jute fibers has silky texture. In India, jute is mainly grown in the West Bengal, Bihar and Assam. And jute plants are about 2.5 to 3.5 meter in height, and it bears yellow flowers in 3 to 4 months. Once the flowers can be seen, then the plant is said to be a matured one. Jute plants are usually cut at the flowering stage. The good quality fiber is obtained from the plants which are cut at the flowering stage. Flowering is a mature stage, and that jute fiber is a strong one. The jute fiber is obtained from the rated jute by the head. In this period, the gummy skin roots out of the separate the fiber. This process is called as a retting. Now next one is a synthetic fiber. This is a man-made fiber, okay, in the laboratory. The synthetic fiber is quite strong, wrinkle resistant and quick drying. These are used in making the different materials like cloths, neckties, sails, sweaters, shawls, carpet, blankets, etc. Okay, they are also used in making the boats and skating boards, etc. Uh, these are also now commonly used synthetic fibers. That's all, student. Thank you very much.